I need to make a video about this kid, Nick Lardis, because he is easily the most intriguing Blackhawks prospect by far. It's not even close, really. And that's because of the wide range of comments, expectations, opinions on him. All the prospect gurus, all the scouts that I've talked to personally or seen talk about this kid, they pretty much are all quite low on him. They're all very, very low on him, and they don't really think that his game is translatable to the NHL level, and I don't agree with them. I might be totally wrong on this kid, and that's okay. I've talked about him in a couple past videos, but I needed to make an entire video dedicated to this kid because he's such an enigma, and I feel like there's such a wide range for how his career could end up playing out. I'm bullish on him, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But I want to just kind of break some stuff down, talk about the profile a little bit here. So I got Elite Prospects pulled up. So he is a 20-year-old kid. He got drafted in 2023 in the third round, 67th overall by the Chicago Blackhawks. He's a right wing, shoots left, and he is 5'11", 185 pounds. Now, there's this other guy, Alex DeBrincat, that you might have heard of. He's drawn some comparisons to. People have compared him to Mr. DeBrincat quite a lot because of similar outlooks and expectations. I mean, a lot of people were kind of slandering DeBrincat a little bit, especially, Alex DeBrincat was drafted in the second round by the Blackhawks. He was playing with Dylan Strome and Connor McDavid. I don't know if you've ever heard of that guy, Connor McDavid. He was playing with those guys in junior, and so a lot of people thought that the rest of his game was not good enough. He was too undersized for the NHL, and so he received a lot of slander in junior and before he made it to the NHL and ended up proving that he was a legitimate NHL talent. But as you can see here, 5'8", 181 pounds. Nick Lardis already bigger than him at age 20. Now, I'm not saying that I think Nick Lardis is going to be Alex DeBrincat. I am just making a case that I think Nick Lardis will be an NHL talent, which a lot of people disagree with. And I understand. I've seen the tape. I didn't watch every single Brantford Bulldogs game this year, I will admit. But I have seen tape. I have seen him struggle defensively. I see him cheat for offense. I see him make lazy defensive plays. But I cannot imagine that Nick Lardis is going to play the same way in professional hockey as he does in juniors. I think that professional coaching staff will help him weed out those bad habits a little bit. And I also just think that once you get to the pro level and you see the speed and how high stakes the games are, I don't think you're going to play the same way in the show as you do against, North Bay in the OHL. I think that you're going to be playing a little bit different. And that's just an opinion that I have. And you could disagree with me, and that's fine. But I just want to, the reason why I kind of want to look at these stats, obviously, if you've heard anything about this kid, you've heard that he scored 71 goals this past season in the OHL for the Brantford Bulldogs in 65 games, totaling 117 points. And then in the playoffs, before he got injured in the playoffs, he played 7 games and had 11 goals and 4 assists for 15 points, outpacing his regular season stats in the playoffs, which I know a thing or two about winning. I have 3 Stanley Cups as a Chicago Blackhawks fan, so I know a thing or two about winning. I know how important elevating play in playoffs are, and this kid does it over, granted, a small sample size and in juniors. I understand. I'm just making a point. Don't get upset. Clear progression. Obviously getting older, getting faster, getting stronger. From back to 2021 to 2024, it was a sizable uptick every single year in production, and that's a good sign because he's only 20 years old, and people are acting like the player he was this season is going to be peak Nick Lardis. And I would just point to the fact that he has improved drastically every single year that he's been playing junior hockey. I would imagine that's going to continue once he gets to the pro level, once he has even more resources at his disposal, once he has better coaching staff, once he has better trainers. I think that he will continue to progress. And I've got a highlight here that I'm just going to roll that we can just all watch together. I don't even know if this is legal, but I'm doing it and I'm putting it out there. Please like and subscribe. So the point of this, why I kind of just want to watch this together, is because and obviously none of the defensive lapses or bad turnovers or getting out muscled, any of that is going to be in this because this is just a highlight reel. But I just want to talk about his release because in every sport, not just hockey, but every sport where you're trying to score, there are certain guys that are just better than everyone else at scoring. They might not be the best overall players. They might not be the most physical. They might not be the fastest. They might not even be the best. But in every sport, there are guys that you just can't explain it. They just have a knack for the net. They have a scoring ability that other people don't have. And that's what Nick Lardis has. I mean, his one-timer, he's watch this, by the way. Look, the wrist shot is electric. He's got a little bit of that toe drag release, which is like now kind of the new meta in hockey. So he's got that down right there. You just saw it right there. You saw how he brings it in close to his body. He's got that. He's got a phenomenal one-timer. He's got a great backhand. He can score through traffic. I mean, he can score from anywhere. And it's not even like he needs to get, and look at him just like cooking that defender. He just knows where to be and when. And so it doesn't matter if you're not, the best defensively or the fastest guy. If you're always in the right spot in the offensive zone and you can put the puck in the back of the net automatically. Look at that one-timer, man. He just finds these soft spots. Watch him just find these soft spots of the ice, and he just lets it go. Oh, my gosh. What is that shot? That's preposterous in overtime. What was that shot? Oh, my God, man. Look, I think this is a guy you put on a line with Frank Nazar and just let them go to work. I think this is a guy, you pair this guy with Frank Nazar. Frank Nazar's the workhorse. Frank Nazar's going to be all over the ice doing everything, opening up so much space for this guy. He's just going to be finding nice little pockets of space in the ozone and letting that 1T fly. Like, I am not convinced in the slightest that this kid is not going to be an NHL player because the scoring ability for me is just undeniable. I completely understand the concerns and the flaws in his game. There are some glaring flaws in his game, but I have a hard time believing that over time, as this kid continues to develop physically and, get stronger and faster and raise that a hockey IQ even, I just have a hard time imagining someone with this much scoring talent not being able to make it in the NHL. I just don't believe it. And so I guess this is one of those ones where, after a few years go by and the first few years of his professional career play out, I get to find out, do I actually know puck or should I leave it to the professionals? And I'm okay. I'm perfectly fine if I have to end up leaving it to the pro scouts and the, or not the pro scouts, but the scouts who scout professionally and the prospect gurus. Look, if I find out that I got to leave it up to them with the prospect stuff, I'm okay with that. One less thing I have to be concerned about. But I just want to make a video about this kid because in a world where everyone's saying Nick Lardis is not going to be an NHL talent, I want to be the one saying that he is. I think this kid could be absolutely dynamic in the Chicago Blackhawks top six in a couple seasons. I would love to see him get some games this year. I know he's going to start the year in Rockford and probably play the most of the year there, but I really hope they call him up at some point, especially if he's like playing well in Rockford and scoring a lot. Like if he's on some Frank Nazar trajectory where he's lighting up the AHL this season, he better get some runway on the Blackhawks this year because, what do you have to lose? They're going to be one of the worst teams in the league, so you might as well play them. Yeah, man. Dude, top cheese like it's nothing, man. The release is so gross. The release, I could watch this all day. I could watch, and this one, that play is so nasty. Watch the way he shields with his left hand, backhand, forehand, making the goalie look foolish. I mean, he's dynamic, man. He's a special talent. And I'm excited to see him progress. I think he's going to be an NHL player. Let me know in the comments if you guys, I know there's a lot of people who watch me that watch significantly more junior hockey than I do. And I remember last year on Chicago Hockey Radio arguing with some people about Nick Lardis in particular. And so weigh in the comments. Let me know if I'm tweaking. Let me know if you kind of hear where I'm coming from as far as the progression over his junior career and whatnot. I think Nick Lardis is going to be a stud. Like, I understand that, like, physicality and defensive ability are massively important in the NHL, but at the end of the day, the most important thing in hockey is putting the puck in the back of the net, and that is what Nick Lardis is best at. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like if you've gotten this far. I appreciate you, because watching my videos all the way through is very helpful to me. And now if you want to help me with one more thing, hit the like, and I will see you in the next one. Mwah. Love you. Bye.